Good evening, SRN fans, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake Rowell. I am here with my broadcast partner for the first time ever together in the booth, Daniel Ballard, bringing you the Hotlanta 125 for our Speed Racing Network Truck Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Daniel Ballard, man, how's it going?
Not too bad, Jake. How's it going with you? I'm excited for hopefully a really good race here.
Oh, I know. I'm looking forward to it. This is the first time we're going to get to go to a track with the new multi-groove racing that iRacing has implemented into the software. So looking forward to that, as well as, man, happy St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully you were able to wear your green today and everyone enjoyed their St. Patty's Day.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't pay attention to the calendar, I guess, but it's race day as well. So for me, that is no green. But yeah, looking forward to see how iRacing's multi-groove racing is going to go here. Could be a really interesting race.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to have 80 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. These drivers are going to have two faster pairs. So it's going to be a great race. These truck guys have been putting on some shows the last few weeks.
Yeah, they certainly have. I know last week kind of got into a little bit of a caution fest there for a while, but, we're at a bigger track here. It's going to be a little more spread out, so I'm sure these guys will get back on track here and put on some great racing.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Daniel. And for the fans at home, if you've been with us, we appreciate you following along all season long so far. But if you're new to the program here at SRN, our leagues with our truck series, 20 weeks long. We are in week 10. Every single truck, every driver has a fixed setup. That means everyone's got the same setup in their truck. So there's no mechanical difference. It's all about the driver behind the wheel. Again, like I just mentioned, we got two faster pairs for every single driver. If you hit the wall, spin out, get involved into a wreck, you can go down pit lane, fix your truck up with a faster pair. Got to be careful, though, with 80 laps here. You can use two pretty quickly. So got to have that strategy going for you. Every single week, you got a $5 entry fee in our league. And I think the really great thing, Ballard, is, as you know, obviously being a part of this league for so long, is the fact that our league has weekly as well as season payouts. And for that season payout, if you're the championship winning driver, you bring home $300 for first place. So, you pay $5 for 20 weeks. That's $100. You could walk away if you're the championship winner with a gain of $200 plus everything you might have won every single week if you finish in the money spots, as long as or as well as being a part of the team championship, bringing home another $100, which is split between either 4 or 5 drivers.
Yeah, a huge opportunity here to have some very generous payouts, for a very small entry fee of $5. I mean, that's when you start talking about these payouts of that magnitude. I mean, usually your buy-in, is at least $20. So hats off to the SRN guys for that.
Oh, most definitely. And, that brings us right into our race payouts that we're talking about. So first place tonight, if you win the thing, you get to bring home $25, as well as a free entry into the Xfinity race tomorrow, Thursday, March 18th. So you could win the thing tonight, win $25, and then, with that free entry, you go on tomorrow and possibly win even more money. You finish fourth place, come home with $10, and then fifth through seventh place, you get to get your entry fee back essentially with $5. So, to be able to finish in the top 7 and win that kind of money with $5 every single week, it's just really big, especially for these guys. Our truck series is built to have newer guys on iRacing, or just guys that might just want to have a less week in and week out competitiveness. It's made for the more novice driver, so that's a really great thing I think that we have.
Yeah, for sure. And then if we move on here to the season-long payouts, I believe is next. First place going to take home that $300. Second place with $150. Third with $100. Fourth with $75, and fifth is going to come home with $50. And our team championship is going to be another $100. So, really great opportunity again there. For the guys that stick with this all season long and hopefully can grow and learn, and really good opportunity to make some money along the way as well.
It really is. I mean, it's almost like Speed Racing Network is a bank or a credit union. I mean, the things they do for our drivers in the league to be able to have these payouts is just amazing. And I think the great thing about Speed Racing Network, not only there all these money payouts, but we've also got a couple sponsor things like that give away a few things to our drivers in all three of our series. And that first one being that you see right now on your screen is a butt kicker. It's given away to the cleanest driver, the Clean Driver Award for our league. What that means is, that driver has the fewest incidents per lap throughout the season, so it's a season-long count. And honestly, the butt kicker product that the winner gets, I've been on iRacing quite a bit, and you hear a lot of guys in official races or people in our league talking about them. It adds another element to your sim racing experience. You hook it up to your rig or your chair, and it kind of emulates every single vibration or feel that you have in the car. So it's a really great product. Been looking to get one myself. And, again, if you don't win this thing, Dana, you can go to Butt Kicker and use our own promo code for it, SRNBS20, for 20% off your order.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great product. I can attest to it. I have one myself. It really does add a whole new level to your sim rig there. But besides things that we give away, we have partnered with Kane Cook to offer some sim coaching lessons. So anybody that wants to continue to get a little bit better and improve their skills, Kane offers some sessions here to get a hold of him. He's been the hard charger for iRacing. He's made up the most positions passed, I believe, on iRacing. And I believe they said Joe Ruggles, he's had back-to-back poles, I believe, in the Truck Series, and he is attesting that to the help of Kane Cook. So, obviously there's a proven story behind it. So if that's what you're looking for, definitely a great opportunity there.
Oh, it really is. I mean, Joe Ruggles, like you said, coming home the last 2 weeks with the pole award for our race, just shows the dividends of running one of these Kane Cook sim coaching sessions. You can book that session on our website, speedracingnetwork.com. You can have a one-on-one with Kane, jump in there with a friend and yourself, or even a group session, with a few of your friends, or if you got a team like we have many teams in our league. He's willing to do an assortment of sessions depending on the amount of guys you got. And again, you see on our screen here, he's known for that hard charger, as well as the fact that he's got one account with an I rating over 7,400, which is just an astonishing feat to have on iRacing. But he doesn't have one; he's actually got two. So it just shows you the kind of caliber Kane Cook is, and that's why he's up in there in the Coca-Cola series, which is the highest racing series on iRacing in the platform. So this is one of the guys to go to if you're looking to get quicker. And here we go. Obviously, speaking about being quick, so far this season, man, it's all about Michael Madden. He's the points leader, but don't look too far behind him. 1 point behind him is Corey Saucier, who we saw rattle off 3 wins in a row early on this season. And we just want to also point out the fact that, you might have seen a little bit of jockeying around in the list here of the standings. That's because we've now added to the points standings. This is every single driver with their 3 drop weeks. So we've done all the hard math calculations. We've got the calculators crunching. So these are the numbers right now if the playoffs were to start exactly like they'll be come playoff time with the drop week. So there's a lot of good names that we see along this list. Obviously, we touched on Madden, Corey Saucier, Nathan Nixon, and Madden's teammate Cole Martin's up front. He's been running really, really strong the last few weeks. And then you got some guys, all throughout this list. Byron McDonald, one of our other broadcaster that does the Cup Series on Sunday nights, as well as Sean Kosher from Revved Racing. So you see a few guys from the same kind of team. You got 4 from Revved Racing, 3 from Jonathan Byer, and 2 from Bronco Motorsports, and a couple from Striker Motorsports. So these guys are feeling pretty good. Now, there's going to be some guys also, Daniel, that might be a little worried here. Yeah,
as we take a look here at the guys that are outside the cut, you got the first first, I'd say 4 or 5 there that are definitely within reach here. At any race could really, catapult them into the top 15. But Vincent Cortez only 1 out, James Kerr only 1 out, Matthew Johnson. Don't expect him to go anywhere. From this list, he was Mr. Consistent last season, made the top 5, I believe, for the final championship race. As you look down this list, Joe Ruggles, we just talked about him a little bit ago. He's had the pole the last 2 races, so don't count him out. Cody Madden comes in, starts a little bit late, only sitting 40 back. So Corey Knight's right there, Taylor Smith's right there, and you get a little further back, and these guys still mathematically can make it, but definitely it's going to be time to start, getting the finishes that they need.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with you there, Bowler. If you're about 40 points back, it's pretty possible to do. Anything more than that, that's a big hole to get yourself out of with only this race and then 5 more races to go. I mean, that's just a ton of points you got to make up week in and week out. And you yourself as a driver, you can't have any more bad finishes. So I think if you're around that 10 to 15 point back range right now, I think it's very, very possible. But again, at the same time, you got to be sure you are keeping yourself safe throughout the entire race here tonight, as well as the next 5 races before we do, shape up our field for that playoff run to the championship. Speaking of championships right now, Revved Racing is currently in the lead for our team standings. They are out to a sizable lead. And this is brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. So you see Revved Racing, they're up top on this list. They've got 3 wins, and they've also almost a 200-point lead over second place Jonathan Byrd Racing. They've been really, really strong, though, these last few weeks. They've actually jumped from 4th to 2nd place in the standings. They see they've passed R&D Motorsports, who's also got the 3 wins from Corey Saucier. And then you got Striker Motorsports, kind of the last team in range of Revved Racing, and I say that I can't imagine being 301 points back, though. That's doable. And then you got Team SRN, Tank Racing tied for 5th. Bronco Motorsports, even though they've had 2 wins coming from their drivers, Andrew Harris and Cole Martin, man, it's just, again, the team aspect of it, they're still way back, kind of out of it already. And again, H2k Motorsports rounding out the last place here in our team standings.
As we move on, I think we're going to go to team introductions here, sponsored by Sandwich Man Sports Memorabilia. Revved Racing coming up first here. You got Michael Madden, the points leader, with his 2 wins. Byron McDonald, we talked about him. Nathan Nixon with that 1 win. Sean Kozer and Cody Riggs.
Yeah, I think that one win by Nathan Nixon there. I think he beat you by a couple yards there at Daytona Road.
A couple of yards. You come back from one of those and think you got it won, and go into the last corner, and the old Roel Smith Racing calculator lied to us a little bit, and Nathan was able to take that win. But he deserved that win. He ran a heck of a race.
Not too sure what you're talking about, because I believe that driver said to someone he was darn sure he could make it 13 laps. But nonetheless, we're moving on to Jonathan Byrd Racing here. You see this team, they don't have a single win yet from any drivers. But again, with the team aspect, it's not all about wins, man. It's, again, we take 4 of the top 5 guys finishing points each and every week, and it's a total throughout all 20 weeks. So as long as you're running really consistent, like the 5 here of Jack and Matt Johnson, Jonathan Byrd, James Kerr, and Kyle Wimble have, man, it's very possible to still win and catch up to Revved Racing for this team championship.
For sure. Definitely hard to beat consistency, but as we move on here through our list, we're going to go to R&D Motorsports. And you got Corey Saucier right there, 3 wins. He's hot on the tail there for the points lead. Bobby Anderson, Jason Crackty, Trevor White, and Mike Mosby. This team, they're going to be right there in the hunt for this. They're a little bit out of range right at the moment to grab that team championship points lead, but they're hanging in there, hanging tough. Keep having solid races. You never know, they could end up there.
Oh, they absolutely can. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. I mean, it's 20 weeks long, so It's not over yet, even though it might look like it. It might be deceiving that we're sitting here saying these teams have shots at it, but again, it's a 20-week long season, so it's a long way through it. And here we are. Next team up, we got Striker Motorsports. We were talking about Joe Ruggles Jr. running those Kane Cook sessions. He was at one point on the pole, so that would have been his third pole in a row. But he's only dropped down to second place, right behind Cody Madden. So again, Joe Ruggles showing up for qualifying. He's quick on this team, and along with his teammates Travis Trevelyan, Brandon Domain, Mike Lewis, and Jose Castellanos. I mean, these guys honestly they've been kind of down on luck, just getting involved in other people's things or just making the wrong strategies, things like that. But they've showed speed, and I think that's what really matters at the end of the day. Bowler, as long as you get yourself in that playoff, man. I mean, like we saw last season, a couple guys just were so consistent and kept moving their way through the rounds.
Yeah, and talk about Joe Ruggles. I believe he's sitting on the outside front row right now. So, but I think he may have got bumped there back to third, but up front again.
Absolutely, and again, here we are coming into Team SRN, the factory team, the homegrown. We got 5 great drivers here: Tevin Whitner, Taylor Smith, Corey Knight, Rob Yost, and Brad Yonkman. So these 5 guys, I gotta imagine, man, they just haven't had the seasons they thought they would have so far. I've obviously raced with Taylor Smith and Corey Knight as well as you have, Daniel, obviously last season in Mid-South Madness Season 2. I think they, again, kind of almost like Striker Motorsports, they've been, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time all the time. It seems like just getting involved in accidents, that happen in front of them, and just mistakes. It's a product of racing, and unfortunately, with about 40 guys in a race, it's not everyone can have strong finishes. But there's always time for them to turn it around and start moving back up.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of another team here that just has had some struggles at times and just working on trying to better themselves and keep moving forward the best they can. Tank Racing. We're gonna have Walter Lepicki, Josh Mueller, Vincent Cortez, and Jeremy Duncan. Vincent probably, I guess, in my knowledge, I guess, that I've been around these guys, Vincent's probably, their lead guy here. So hopefully he can keep working with the rest of these guys and find a little bit more speed for these guys and help them, not make some of those mistakes like you alluded to there with the SRN team. But, just little mistakes, they get those cleaned up a little bit. This team could be right up there challenging with the rest of them.
Exactly, and we talk about these teams that might not have a strong chance of catching up to our leaders in the team championship. But honestly, you got to think, man. At what point do you just start saying, "All right, we might be out of this thing in the team championship, but let's come together as a group and get stronger individually. That way, we can get 1, 2, 3, or maybe all 4 of us in the playoff. Because at that point, man, anything is possible. And that's really what they should be aiming for." So, and I believe we still have one team to talk about here. That's going to be 8 or 2 of them. My bad. We got Bronco Motorsports up. This is a team that's got a couple winners on them with Andrew Harris and Cole Martin winning last week at Phoenix, beating out someone here in the booth. But again, they got 2 other drivers, Michael York and Brian Crocker. Again, it's just kind of been a tale of 2 tales here with this team. You got 2 guys that have won and are up front pretty much almost every single week, I'd say. And then just a couple other guys that, just have had bad luck again. And it's kind of the moral of the story, this intro to this race. But it's just, again, falls to the point where there's going to be winners. And unfortunately, there's going to be guys that, get involved in accidents and things like that. It's just obviously a part of racing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Moving on here to our final team that we've got. H2k Motorsports. When this team formed, they had three teams, and I believe they had them in all 3 series. But I think they're down to just the 2 teams now in the trucks and the Cup series. So You got David Swift here, Josh Witt, Cody Madden. We've seen him come in a little bit late, and he's been making pretty good leaps and bounds. So he may drag the abilities of these other guys up a little bit here too, as he runs with them and works with them a little bit. And rounding out the last two is Justin Kruckman, and we switch slides a little bit on us here.
That's all good though, and we saw it there before. Our producer down in the booth, Jeffrey Stewart in the 115. Exactly. And again, we'll go to our last slide here real quick. We got our independent drivers, the 42 of Kevin Winker, 44 Devin Zimmerman, the 46 of Mike Lepicki, Evan Scott in that 48 truck you see on your screen right there. Good looking paint scheme. And the last independent driver tonight, the number 7 John Doc Holliday. So these are guys that for whatever reason might just not be on a team, or they're jumping down from our Xfinity series. But I believe, Daniel, we got our qualifying results. Qualifying has ended, and the trucks are gridded up on track here. So starting on the pole from Bronco Motorsports, Cole Martin in that 85 truck. You got Corey Saucier in second place from R&D Motorsports. Third place, Vincent Cortez out of Tanked Racing. Cole's teammate from Bronco, Andrew Harrison, fourth, and Byron McDonald in fifth from Revved Racing.
Yeah, and sixth place, we got Cody Madden from H2k Motorsports. Seventh place, Mike Lepicki, one of our independent drivers, and seventh. Eighth is Joe Ruggles. He slipped back a little bit there from where we thought he was going to qualify, but still up front in the top 10. Ninth is Kyle Wimble. 10th, Jack Johnson. 11th is Brandon Domain, and rounding out your top 12 is going to be Kevin Winker.
And so there we have it. That's going to be our top 12 starting positions of this truck race. So two guys that have been quick the last 3-4 races we've had, man. They're up front here. Cole Martin is going to be bringing us to the green flag once this pace truck pulls off. But I got to ask, Daniel, this is kind of a thing we do up here in the booth, man. I'll give you the first go at it. Who's your pick to win this thing tonight?
Oh man, Cole's been solid for the last 2 weeks before this. Probably should have had the win 2 weeks ago. Just fell on some bad luck there at the end. Got the win last week. I got to race against him personally. He's definitely going to be strong. But don't accuse me of being a homer, but I think I'm going to take the 3 truck of Corey Saucier from R&D Motorsports there, man. I mean, he's got it figured out. I run those practices with him during the week, and he's going to be on a mission.
Definitely not a bad pick there. I don't want to go with the pole leader just because I feel like that's the easy way out, but I'm going to take someone that I think might hop onto the scene here and win this thing. I'm going to go that 17 truck of Cody Madden. I think he's going to get it done. And here we go. I believe the pace truck's coming off this time, Bowler. So the Hotlanta 125 is going to be in the hands of Cole Martin as he gets the green flag, and we're racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Good jump by Corey Saucier there on the outside line. He's going to go side by side with him down here into one.
There's side by side. Cole kind of edges out to a little bit of a lead, starts to pull away because he's running that low line. It's the shortest distance around the track. But I believe that 3 truck's going to get a big run out on the high side. And here comes the 69 of Vincent Cortez, also to the inside. So Corey Saucier was side by side going into one with Cole, and all of a sudden, now he's basically third place as they come out of turn 4.
Yeah, Vincent with a great run there off of 2, coming off the bottom. Really surprising to see him pull alongside of the 3 with that run off the top, but he does. We're going to be side by side going down here into 1, see if Vincent can use that bottom line to clear Corey.
Yeah, kind of early on here, but our top 4 have kind of broken away from a little bit from the rest of the pack, but we got a little bit of action there off of turn 2, way in the back of the pack. We got someone down on the apron, but that's the 48 of Evan Scott, one of our independent drivers. Doesn't seem like he's got too much damage, a little bit on the left front. Hopefully it's not terrible.
Looks like he's going to bring it down pit road here. Yeah, if you look back here in the back of this pack, it's a good example of this multi-groove racing that iRacing's created. It's going to be interesting to see how this holds out as the tires wear out if these guys can continue to do this. But early on, it's sure making for some great racing.
It definitely has. And the top 4 are kind of that choo-choo train around the middle of the track right now. These 4 are kind of pulling away from our 5th and 6th place drivers of Cody Madden and Mike Lepicki. But up front, man, it's been Cole Martin leading this thing.
Yeah, man, they've those top four have really started opening it up on the rest of the pack. We'll see what happens to him here as the tires wear out. You know, I know Corey's pretty good at saving his stuff, but you know, like we said, Cole's been fast the last few weeks.
It definitely has. You see Vincent Cortez trying to get a little bit higher than the 3 truck of Corey Saucier. I don't know if he's to his outside yet, but he's going to get a big run off that high side, so it's going to be a matter of where does he go and what does he do with it. As he kind of goes to his outside, trying to get to his outside right rear quarter panel as they head into 1, but Corey doesn't let it happen as he's trying to make a move to the inside of Cole. We'll see if he's going to get the run down the back.
Yeah, Corey's going to drive it to the bottom here, see if he can get that run. Going down here into 3, he's going to be on the inside of Cole, see if the truck's going to stick for him.
And we got 2 wide here, first 2 rows of our race, man. This is... Oh, Andrew Harris!
It's turned, but did he save it? He saves it.
What a save right there by the 69 of Vincent Cortez. He's going to come up into the track. Oh, he's got a bit of damage, though, Bowler, I think, from, I believe that was the 87 of Andrew Harris. Accidentally got into his left rear quarter panel coming across the start-finish line. But, you know, that's kind of made these 2 guys pull out a little bit further in front of the field.
Yeah, that's going to give the front 2 guys a big advantage here over the next group of cars. So we'll see what these 2 can do. Hopefully they can avoid making some contact like the guys in 3rd and 4th did there. But, you know, we see
Corey Saucier in the wall.
Corey gets into the wall. I thought he was going to start looking for the outside line there, but gets a little too high.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he tried to make it work and kind of bailed out of it to not take both of them out, and unfortunately he did hit the wall outside of 2, so a little bit of damage on the right front of that 3 truck as he's kind of fallen back into the grasp of Andrew Harris for 3rd. But Cole Martin, man, back up or still up front, kind of got about a 7.5 lead over 2nd and 3rd right now. Again though, back to it, man. Vincent Cortez right there had a great save when he got tagged by the 87 incidentally down the front, was able to collect the car, and you know, right now Vincent, he's just hoping for a yellow, Daniel. And you know, as a driver yourself, you know, on iRacing as well as in the real world, you know, obviously.
Ruggles gets in the wall and hits the points leader, Michael Madden. Vincent Cortez is going to get into the wall. We got more guys involved here.
Oh my goodness! I thought we left a parking lot in Phoenix, man. There's 6, 7, 8 trucks. They're still wrecking as the yellow's been out. I mean, there's got to be 8, 9, 10 trucks there, Bella, that got involved in that thing. And I think Vincent Cortez got involved in that one again, just kind of wrong place, wrong time there. That's just tough to see.
Well, we were talking about it. You know, Vincent was going to need to fix some damage. Unfortunately for him, though, it's going to take a fast repair now at this point.
Definitely. We'll see here on this rec replay what happened. Joe Ruggles just got into the outside wall all by himself, it seemed. Maybe got a little loose down the front off the corner, hits the wall, bounces down the track, and, you know, Michael Mann, just cliche right there, moment of literally being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just absolutely nothing Michael could do as that 96 truck was bouncing down to the inside of the track. I believe that's a 4 car of Jose Castellanos gets involved, but then you see all these trucks, Daniel, just flying into this wreck, you know, nowhere to go, man.
Yeah, we're just they carry so much more speed here, you know, when something develops in front of you. And actually, you know, I don't want to be the one that blames it on this or anything, because I know a lot of people have been beating this drum. You know, iRacing updated the crash smoke on here now as well. So, you know, when people spin out and wreck, you know, the smoke is a lot thicker, and it's way harder to see through it than it ever used to be.
Yeah, it definitely did, man. That 96 took a big hit, and then you see all the damage happening behind the field, and it's just one of those things, man. You got to be lucky to avoid these wrecks sometimes. Just with how these trucks and cars on iRacing kind of bounce off these walls, it's a guessing game of what way to go, and then you put that on top of the fact you got, you know, 30 other trucks on the track with you. You can't just go one way or the other. You got to, you know, make sure you're not running into someone inside or outside of you, and that's just why we see wrecks like this happen right there of, you know, guys further behind having nowhere to go. It's a tough situation, But, back up front, man, we got Cole Martin coming out of the pits with the lead with his teammate right behind him, Andrew Harris.
Yeah, that's going to be good for him to see. Bronco Motorsports going to take over this front row here. You know who benefited the most from that caution, I would have to say, is going to be Corey Saucier. We saw him get into the wall there and actually make pretty good contact with that outside wall. So, be interesting to see here. Did he use a fast repair to fix his damage? Did he, just go ahead and take the optional repair? As we look at the truck, it still looks like there's some damage on it. So I'm gonna assume he probably just used the optional repair. So be curious to see how his truck holds up here with these leaders.
Yeah, definitely got to imagine, like you said, he definitely has a little bit of right front damage. So he probably just clicked off the optional repair. That way he didn't use one of his fast repairs early on. I mean, that yellow came out with about 70 laps to go still in this thing. So that's kind of early for me to use it. Obviously, he wasn't blown up or anything like that where he had to use it. So that's just, again, Daniel, with our league and the fast repairs in it, the whole strategy game.
Yeah, fast repairs can definitely be a strategy you got to play, especially if we get into a track like this. You see one of those wrecks start and how many people can get into them there. We're only on lap 12 of 80, and there are several guys that have already used one fast repair. So, like we talked about, earlier, it's really easy to run out of those fast repairs very quickly.
Oh, it definitely is. And that's the thing of it is, that wreck happened and we were, in the midst of a green flag run, and here we are about to have another restart where things can get crazy intense. Like they say, cautions breed caution. So if you're one of those guys that had to use a fast repair right there, man, you got to be very, very careful to keep your nose clean, not get involved in anything that might happen right here, because Atlanta Motor Speedway with the multi-groove surface now, it allows these guys to go 3-4 wide, and when you're not careful with it, man, you can get involved in a wreck really quick.
Yeah, that is for sure. As we look here at the 92 of Robert Yost, I believe he is our biggest mover right now. I think he's moved up 15 positions, and actually I believe Jeffrey Stewart has also moved up 15 positions. So those two right now tied for the biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, they definitely are. Robert Yost started 37th. He's in 22nd now. And Jeffrey Stewart starting 38th, now in 23rd. So, props to these guys. They avoided that wreck. Were able to pick up a ton of spots. Helps them out when they had a bad qualifying. Or maybe it looks like those two guys actually didn't put a lap down. So, to gain 15 spots early on, man, that's crucial right there, especially at a track like Atlanta where at a point, man, it gets harder and harder to pass as these tires fall off. But right now, man, up front, Bronco Motorsports, Cole Martin is going to be in control of this restart. And here he is, getting on that loud pedal, getting through the gears as they cross the line to lap 15 as they head down into turn 1.
Yeah, Cole wastes no time getting back to the gas there. Andrew Harris is going to fall in line right here behind him, followed by Corey Saucier as we round out through 1 and 2.
It definitely will. Something I'm kind of looking forward to see here is how bad is that 3 truck with damage, man? Is it not as bad as it look, or is he going to start falling back, into the middle of this pack? But right now, it looks like he's hanging with these guys, is trying to get around Andrew Harris for second. But back in the pack, man, 7th place right now. Cody Madden, Michael Pickey, Brandon Domingue kind of throw a blanket over these three guys, and it's just the racing that happens here.
Yeah, this is going to be a product of that multi-groove racing we keep bringing up and talking about. It's just so much easier to choose a different line than the guy in front of you. You don't have to necessarily sit around and wait on the guy in front of you to make a mistake, to give you that preferred line. You can kind of move around the racetrack a little bit and find a line of your own that maybe works or is a little bit better than the line of the guy in front of you. So definitely makes for a little bit better racing.
It definitely does, and here's a prime example. You kind of see Cole Martin towards the lower half of the middle of the track, and his teammate Andrew Harris is a little bit higher than him, so that way he's getting clean air on the front of his truck, but he's sticking right behind him down the straightaways, trying to get that draft as they head through 3 and 4. Cole Martin, man, he's kind of having a streak right now that Corey Saucier has had a few weeks ago. Hopefully I didn't just give him the broadcaster's jinx, but again, we saw last week Cole Martin up front leading all these laps, whether it was green flag racing or if the yellows came out. So right now, 1-2 for Bronco Motorsports. Well, we got a truck back in about 4th or 5th place. Didn't mean to step over you there, but I believe that was the 23 of Byron McDonald. Got really, really loose out of turn 2.
Yeah, not sure if he got into the wall there or not. Didn't happen to see that going on back there, but you know, really early in these runs, these trucks are going to be extremely loose on corner exit, you know, until these tires get a little bit wore, and then it seems to settle in just a little bit there for you, but definitely got to be careful here early in the runs.
Definitely, and here we are on board with Matt Johnson and Vincent Cortez battling for 12th place. So Vincent involved in that accident, man, and he's already back up to battling for 12th with Matt Johnson in that 61 truck. So you know, that just kind of shows you how quick Vincent is. So I'd be a little bit nervous of these leaders and things like that. If Vincent gets another yellow, able to pick up a couple spots on pit lane, and then, you know, on a restart grab another few spots from some guys. Vincent's right back up in this thing. That's the beauty of having fast repairs. You know, you can get into involved in a wreck, and 42 of Kevin Winker, man, right behind Vincent Cortez, just got sideways off the corner as they're 3 wide into 1 now. That was a heck of a save in that 42 Glad Chevy
Yeah, it looks
Silverado.
like he's going to get a little bit tight there. Push up the track, gathers it back up there before he makes contact with Madden there. Madden's got to be breathing a sigh of relief there that he didn't get involved in another incident.
Yeah, really, because it would have been almost the same situation. A guy kind of gets loose or tight or what have you, and all of a sudden, you know, you're running into the back of him, and you see Madden getting to the inside of that truck in front of him. But back up front here, towards the front of the field, Jonathan Byer moving up to 10th, going around Byron McDonald. So all throughout this field, man, we got good hard racing. You see McDonald get a little loose out of
gets a little out of shape there.
And up 4th place right now, man, we got Mike Lepicki, one of our Xfinity Series drivers, kind of coming through the field right now. Mike Lepicki actually qualified 7th, so he's moved up 2 spots early on here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But he's got that 46 Hooters machine ready to go, charging to the front, battling with the 91 of Kyle Wimble out of Jonathan Byer Racing.
Yeah, I got the chance to race a little bit with Mike Lepicki here earlier this week at Atlanta. Man, this guy's got this track figured out, so look for him to get up front here. I think he's definitely got what it takes to get up here and challenge these leaders, so see if he can get up here and spoil the party for these guys.
Definitely, and, you know, I got to ask, since, you know, you're a dirt guy and Mike's a dirt guy, you know, do you think that kind of plays into your hand of having that experience of being a dirt racer, and do you think it translates to anything here at Atlanta?
It can at times, I think, you know, just as far as some car control, you know, when it's really hot and slick and, you know, the car's not wanting to stick, makes it maybe a little easier to understand a little bit of the throttle control and a little bit of what, you know, what the car is going to do early on. But, you know, it definitely helps a little bit in those situations, but it's very situational. It's still a lot different coming here to the asphalt.
There, and back up front, man, Cole Martin still leading his teammate Andrew Harris by about 3/10. So the top 3 hasn't changed, but Mike Lepicki, man, is actually running a little bit quicker than these guys. But Cole Martin ran last week's winner, who is 4th in points, looking for another solid day to kind of solidify himself in the playoffs. I think, you know, he keeps having some runs like he's had lately, and, you know, he'll be in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, Cole's had a fantastic last few weeks, continuing that streak here this week, going for a back-to-back win. But as you notice, you know, this pack, really, we haven't had that front 4 really just break away this time. You know, everybody's kind of hanging in here. We got several cars that are right here that could get up to and battle for this lead anytime. As Mike Lepicki is inside Corey Saucier. Looks like he gets a little tight. Corey's going to have the run going down the back here as we go side by side into 3.
I think side by side they are. Mike Lepicki's going to drive that 46 Toyota Tundra to the inside of the 3 of Corey Saucier, trying to get the run off. Kind of makes you wonder if that little bit of damage might just be hurting Corey a little bit, not to get the run on the high side like you normally would see, allowing, you know, Mike to stick with him on the inside. I think Mike's going to be able to maybe get him this time as they head into 3. Can really dive that truck in. It all depends, though, how that high side pays off for Corey Saucier. And Mike does clear him. So Michael Picky, man, has moved up to P3.
Yeah, here he comes, and as we look now, Brandon Domain, I believe, is going to peek a nose here inside Corey Saucier. So yeah, you do wonder, Jake, is that damage starting to get the best of Corey here in this run? You know, it'd be interesting to see when he comes down pit road next time if he goes ahead and decides to bite the bullet and use one of those fast repairs.
Oh, we got the 7 of Doc Holliday mowing the lawn through the infield. Good save, though. Don't know what happened there. I'm hearing some chatter on the race chat that sounds like someone kind of almost got into him, and that's what sent him into the inside there. But back up front, man.
We saw a little bit of that earlier on, so definitely could have been a possibility. As we got a guy on the backstretch here, way in the back, was a little bit out of shape. Not sure if he saved it there or not.
Now we got all kinds of action here as this run's kind of starting to really heat up. No pun intended with how hot those tires are getting here at Atlanta. But right there you see Brandon Domain trying to get to the inside of Corey Saucier, and Kyle Wimble, who we saw was right behind Michael Lepicki, got loose and lost a couple spots. And that 20 truck got really, really tight and did the gentleman thing there of getting out of the gas and not getting into the door of Corey Saucier.
Yeah, look at the time Brandon's going to lose there just from getting tight. You know, that's one of the things. Sometimes you got to weigh that reward versus the risk you're going to take as you do it. You know, he gets a little bit tight underneath Corey there, has to check up a little bit, and he's going to lose a spot of it. As we see Corey get into the wall again.
Yeah, that 3 truck bouncing off the wall again. So I think what you were just saying, you know, next time he comes down pit lane, I think he's got to use that fast repair now, because he's going to be dropping we
almost see him really have to use that fast repair there, but everybody gathers it back up.
That was a good save by both the 4 of Jose Castellanos. Had to get on the apron, got that truck real sideways, and Matt Johnson almost got into the left rear. Corey trying to save his truck. So these 3 guys, man, just shows you how fast these tires fall off, and you know, the handful it is for these guys to be driving these trucks here in the Hotlanta 125.
Yeah, these trucks really become a handful here on old tires. You know, as you can see, a lot of guys are getting out of shape. You know, it's just everybody's got to get settled in here and understand that, you know, it's nothing like the beginning of the run here as you get later on in these. Atlanta is really known for eating up the tires.
Exactly, and back up front, man, this 85 Cole Martin from Bronco Motorsports. I just love the paint scheme that Logan McReynolds made for this with that Sandwich Man Racing sports memorabilia on the hood. He's got the Shoney's on the quarter panels. I mean, that's a good-looking truck ever since he's had it. He's been running really, really well outside of the last lap incident at Las Vegas. So Cole Martin's still leading this thing with his teammate right behind him and Andrew Harris. But a guy that has, you know, come through the field and is driving these guys down really is the 46 of Michael Lepicki. So I got to say, on a little bit longer of a run, I think the 46 has got the edge on these guys in front of him.
Yeah, I think so, Jake. You know, he's ran these guys down, you know, started a little bit further back in the pack. Cole's had that benefit of this clean air the entire time. See if Mike can get up here and make a run at Cole. But, you know, these 2 Bronco trucks have really just kind of walked away from the field except for Mike here.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've 33 laps have already, or 32 laps have already gone by very quickly here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And like you said, it's the 85, 87 up front, but the 46 has been taken away at the lead of Cole Martin. I mean, every single lap it kind of seems about a little bit about a tenth to 2/10 quicker than the leader. Now the tough thing for Mike Lepicki is going to be trying to get around Andrew Harris, Cole Martin's teammate. You know, I don't think he'll just move over and let him out of the way. But when those two start battling, how far out does Cole get? Even though Mike's a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Mike here to really try to, you know, study what Andrew's doing. As Andrew gets maybe into the wall a little bit there, it looked like if he didn't, he was extremely close. But as I was saying, you know, Mike's going to have to, you know, really study what Andrew's doing here as far as picking a line that's going to be able to let Mike go where he is not, and also try to get that run.
Exactly, and you kind of wonder, with those two being teammates, do they kind of just, one guy runs one lane, one guy runs the other? That way, you know, there's really nowhere for Mike to go, because it's almost like blocking the track. I mean, if Cole goes up high, and we see Mike get a little loose at it too, so, you know, even though he's in the top three, it just shows you how tough it is here for these guys to battle with these trucks here. But Mike's going to look to the inside and try to get a run off 4.
And, he gets loose and gets into the back end there of Andrew Harris, and Andrew saves it. Another great save by these guys that have been running up front here. You hate to see it go down that way, but, I guess Mike Lepicki makes short work of it, I guess. Not the way you want to do it, not the way I'm sure he intended to do it. As you could see, his truck got really upset there, We've been talking about that. So we'll see, though. It looks like Mike maybe has a little bit of right front damage, so we'll see if he can run back up there to our leader.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely with those, we got Cody Madden just really wrapping the white line here. He gets loose, though, at a 4, and he's almost into the grass, so another great save. So that's the beauty of it here at Atlanta. It's a mile and a half, but man, it's sure.
As we almost end up 4 wide there, Jake. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no problem. I mean,
we're gonna get some more contact. Everybody's safe so far.
Madden's hanging on to it, man. These guys are doing. The 97 almost was playing with fire there. That could have been bad into 3, but again, 3 wide, 42 outside of Cody Madden. Kind of surprised to see Cody Madden back here in 13th, 12th place right now. Usually he's pretty quick at these mile and a halves. I know he was involved in that accident, so maybe he's just taking it easy, kind of waiting it out to get new tires, maybe hoping for another yellow. But speaking of new tires, Daniel, we're going to have pit stops, I think, pretty shortly. I think these guys can only go about 8 more laps on fuel, so strategy is going to come into play here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be time for the strategy here. Do you try to short pit some of these guys? As we see, Matthew Johnson, right on cue as we started talking about it. It looked like he's going to get into the pits a little bit hot. Not sure if he was speeding there or not. Great save not to wreck the truck there.
Yeah, almost pulled a Dean Brumman, man. He's known for doing that sometimes, and into pit lane he's too hard on the brakes and locks him up and spins it out. But we didn't see that there with Matt Johnson. But up front, man, Cole Martin now has got over a 8/10 second of a lead over Mike Lepicki, and Kyle Wimble's kind of run down Mike, battling for second right there. So that 91 truck of Jonathan Byrd Racing trying to get up into the top 2. So it'll be interesting to see what these leaders do if Cole kind of waits it out and goes after the 2 behind him, or is he going to be the first one to dive down into pit lane? Because honestly, if Cole lets these guys behind him get into the pits before him, man, he's going to lose a little bit of time, especially at a track like Atlanta. How much quicker these guys are on fresh tires. I mean, our qualifying pace for Cole was a 31.2, and right last lap he ran a 33.1. So just shy of 2 seconds difference on new tires versus old tires. So it's part of the game, Daniel, and you know all about the strategy plays.
Yeah, as we see Kyle Wimble and Mike Lepicki get together, so far we're going to save it. Everybody gathers it back up there.
Wow, I can't believe they didn't wreck. Those 2 guys were into one another there, and
Mike Lepicki still out of shape. He may not be done wrecking yet.
Got to imagine. I mean, if you're Mike in the 91, you might as well come down pit lane right now. You've already lost so much time this lap. And so here we go. I mean, it's been a whirlwind of a race so far. Again, here on Kyle Wimble, the 91 of Jonathan Byrd Racing. Got to shout out his sponsor of Monumental Sports. We have reasons. So new sponsor for him there. Kyle Wimble in the 91, who got involved in a little bit of a sideways act through 1 and 2. He's still up in 5th place. So even though he got tagged there from Mike Lepicki, man, he's still in the top 5 battle.
Yeah, he's hanging in tough. Hopefully that little bit of contact didn't hurt his truck too bad. Pit stop's coming up, so he should be able to get that fixed, not lose too much ground here. But, like we were saying, these guys lost so much time on Cole Martin. At this point, is it worth that short pit to make up some of that time on Cole? I would have to say if you're Mike Lepicki, before you made that initial contact with Andrew Harris, you really ran him down on the long run. So I would have to believe you can save tires a little bit better than maybe Cole could right there. So I would say if I'm Mike Lepicki, I'm thinking about coming down here anytime and beating Cole to the pits here and make up some time and then try to outsave that tire on him again, to continue to make that up at the back end.
Exactly. And we went green on lap 14. So these guys are coming up on 29 laps on this green flag run, and I'm only showing they're going to be able to make it another 2 laps of fuel. So that'll be 31 laps, and we've got 36 laps in this race. So, you know, you're going to have to pit twice unless you think you can save yourself 6 laps of fuel, which I just don't think is possible with the amount of saving you'd have to do for 6 laps. That much time you'd be giving up. So I don't know why these guys aren't going into pits, man. You make up a ton of time, and here we are, Vincent Cortez down pit lane. Corey Saucier calling it out. So here we go, Bowler.
Yeah, pit stops are going to start here, as you alluded to here, Jake. You know,
leader Colmar just wrecked on pit lane. Get on the pit lane. The 85 got sideways.
Not what you want to see. Looks like he gathers it up. Luckily, going to have that fast repair. Possibly going to have to use that here, but you know, definitely going to lose some time getting on pit road here. So, definitely what those guys that fell a little bit behind there are going to need.
And so we're going to show you a replay here. Oh, and here he is, though. We got it back in a little technical error. He blink out, so you see Cole getting to the inside, getting downshifting it hard on the brakes, and just loops it. I think he downshifted there. You can kind of see the truck jolt, Bowler. Wouldn't you say that's what happened?
Yeah, definitely what it looked like to me. You know, maybe was coming into the pits a little bit hotter than what he was intending. It'd be interesting to see, you know, did he get a speeding on pit road penalty along with that? You know, you hope not, but definitely with the momentum he was carrying getting onto pit road there, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, it really is. But right now it's going to cycle, or not cycle, but Michael Madden is going to be our leader right now. And he's going to be coming to pit lane this time. But this is our second place points, or our guy who is second in points right now. You see he's got those 2 wins for Revved Racing. So Michael Madden kind of able to stay out a little bit longer than the guys up front. Kind of stretch it out. Maybe he's thinking he can make it. But something we've all been looking forward to, Bowler, is just racing hard, good, clean racing here at Atlanta. And I'm honestly kind of stunned we've gone green for as long as we've had.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see. You know, like I said a little bit earlier in the broadcast, you know, we had a little bit of a caution fest last week, but that's okay. These guys, they're going to get back out here this week and really get it back to some green flag racing for us.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I believe right now, if this thing cycles out, even though Cole Martin had a little mishap there getting onto pit lane, he's still going to come out with the lead once this thing, you know, cycles through and these guys pit.
Yeah, definitely a close call there for Cole. Seems to have everything, you know, figured back out here and under control again, but, you know, I'm sure he's breathing a big sigh of relief and glad to just be back up front with nobody behind him challenging him. He can just settle back in here, get back in that rhythm.
Exactly, and really when you're one of these guys that are up front, like we see Matt Johnson, I guess he was one of the first guys to pit. You know, who's now 3rd place. When you pit that much earlier, right now you're hoping for a yellow to gain all that track position you gained right there back. Because I think the longer this thing goes, those guys are going to start falling back. But, you know, Devin Zimmerman, one of our Xfinity guys, who's down into this race, started 15th. Now he's P9. So Zimmerman kind of surging through the field slowly but surely. So we'll see if this 44 truck can make up some spots and, you know, maybe get a podium finish, a top 5, and be a good run for him, especially heading in tomorrow night's race. Yeah,
you know, Zimmerman's been having a really nice, quiet race, but definitely a solid race for him there in that Air Force Gaming Ford F-150 truck.
Oh, he definitely has, and, you know, he's been pretty pumped about having them on board. You know, it's a new sponsor for him, being able to team up with Air Force Gaming. So Zimmerman, man, maybe learning some things for tomorrow night's race to run in these trucks, even though they're a little bit different. Kind of just, you know, maybe testing out how the multi-groove works, everything like that. But someone that's got it figured out, man, is this 85 truck of Cole Martin, man. He's up front. His lead is over 2 seconds. So even with that wreck, Daniel, you know, he's up front now, and he's able to break away with these guys, so they're not getting his draft. So now we're really seeing who's actually faster, you know, by themselves, even though he's going to be catching some lap traffic.
Yeah, he's really got this thing out there on rails. This lap traffic he's going to be catching. He's going to have to pick his way through it. But so far, everything in front of him right now looks single filed out. So shouldn't have too much trouble with the trucks coming up. But it'd be interesting to see if those guys in front of him start getting a little bit racy. He's going to have to be really careful about how he picks his way through.
Yeah, he definitely is. And again, just going through some storylines early on in this race, we saw Corey Saucier get into the wall and have some right front damage. I can tell on his truck now he has definitely used his fast repair. So that 3 truck, if you're a fan of him from R&D Motorsports, has used a fast repair. So right now Corey is sitting over 6 seconds behind Cole. But I tell you what, if he gets another yellow and they're able to all come down pit lane, get some fresh tires and fuel, this 3 truck will be back up there, fighting for that lead with Cole Martin and Andrew Harris.
Yeah, I think that's for sure. I bet he's kicking himself. Wish he would have used that fast repair a little bit earlier in this race, but gets it used now. Get this thing back moving in the right direction. As we see somebody get a little bit out of shape there. I think that was Matthew Johnson. He's on them older tires. As we take a look here at Brandon Domain, our 5th place in points guy, running the Grid Finder truck here. Good looking truck. He's having a nice little solid day. Sitting up here in 3rd place. See if he can't hunt these 2 leaders down. We haven't seen him up here in this position to go up and try to challenge him. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, definitely can. And Brandon with that Grid Finder sponsor, I believe that's pretty new for Striker Motorsports being on Brandon's car. So props to them for finding a company to come on board. Like you said, man. Likewise, with even though it was a few laps like that, just the difference it is on those older tires, and you see Mike Lepicki kind of coming back through the field because he pit a little bit after some of these guys. So that was a 75 James Kerr, a lap truck getting loose in front of Mike. That's never a good sight.
No, you definitely don't like to see that. Makes you a little bit nervous every time. As we look right behind these two, Vincent Cortez had that spin through the grass a little bit earlier in this race. He's coming back up there. As we go back up front, and Andrew Harris has caught his teammate Cole Martin. Wonder if there's a little bit of trouble here with Cole. Andrew caught him here pretty quickly.
Yeah, kind of odd too. I mean, Cole was out over 2 seconds, and they pitted on the same lap, and I've been every so often going back up to Cole, watching his on board, things like that, and he's gotten through the lap traffic pretty well. Maybe Daniel, we alluded to the fact that they were going to be a little bit short on fuel. Maybe he's trying to stretch it and save.
Definitely could be, but as his teammate has got up here and caught up to him, it hasn't been just clear sailing for him to go by. So not sure if Cole's just saving or what's going on. Maybe he got into the wall or got a little bit out of shape and lost a bunch of time saving the truck. But as we have a caution here.
So it's all out the window now with big wreck in 1 and 2. Cody Riggs, the 224, looks like he's involved. I think that's a Bronco Motorsports truck. That's a Pace truck. Apologize to our fans listening. I got a little afraid. Our producer, Sean Griffith, was screaming in our ear that Toll was about to get destroyed, and it was the Pace truck. Man, but here we go.
Sean was worried we were going to need the ambulance out here.
Oh, the 224 just, 19 involved. Doc Holliday had nowhere to go, hitting these guys when they're spinning in front of them. A couple other trucks, though, make it through that. That's tough to see.
Looked like, very similar situation to what we had with, Joe Ruggles here earlier in the race, just in the second little part of the front stretch there. I'm not sure if these guys, if they're getting out of shape or, sometimes it is kind of easy to lose track of where you're at on the track here in these quad ovals, and it is very easy, once you finally actually realize where you are, especially with trucks in front of you, moving around like that. Once you realize where you are and that you're headed for the wall, sometimes it's just too late to get back away from it.
Yeah, it definitely is. And another thing, too, you throw into that is the fact of catching lap cars, too, at wrong places like that, where you're trying to battle a guy for a position. The lap car might be in front of you, in front of the guy you're battling with, and someone makes a move to the inside or outside, and those walls kind of kink back out into the track, so to speak, as you head into the corner. So you got to be really careful and aware of where you're at in regards to where that wall kind of bumps back out into the entry of turn one. So I think that was the result of what we saw there with that yellow, is just tight racing, good hard clean racing, and then all of a sudden the guy gets into the wall and bounces off into another guy, and no one's at fault obviously for that, but that's just something, like you said, Bowler, these quad ovals, a lot of guys don't think about that.
Yeah, definitely not the easiest thing in the world to race on here. But as we look back up front, looks like Cole Martin's going to come back out front. We're going to throw the fuel mileage out the window here, Jake. So, how are you feeling? Are you sticking with the pick you made earlier in this race? Or are you going to switch it to the man that's dominated, or maybe his teammate here?
My pick, Cody Madden, right now, not having a great run like he probably thought he was, in 21st right now. But I can't switch. That's the easy way out of it. I'm still sticking with my pick, Cody Madden. But, Ballard, let's see if we can't get Cole Martin up here in the booth real quick. Kind of want to ask him what was going on, what happened with him as we saw his teammate kind of run him down. Cole Martin, this is Jake Rowell and Daniel Bowler in the SRM booth, buddy. How's it going for you up front?
It's going pretty good right now.
Yeah, it definitely has, man. You won last week at Phoenix in the Truck Series. You're sitting fourth in points, man. You're leading this thing with what will be probably about probably 18 laps to go. Gotta ask though, man. We saw you had over a 2 second lead after that pit stop. Were you trying to save fuel, or what was going through your head there, Cole?
Yeah, I was trying to save fuel a little bit. I was about a lap to the good, and I was just trying to save, and I don't know. I don't know if we were good to go or not. It was going to be close.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure you were happy to see that yellow. Like Bowler just said before we pulled you up, man, it throws out all the fuel strategy out the window. Now you can just go out there as a driver and wheel it. So we'll get you back down to your team, Cole, man, and best of luck. And we hope to be interviewing here for a podium finish, if not the win, here in 19 laps.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's get it done.
Well, Bowler, we heard it there from Cole. So, what's your takeaway from something like that?
I think he's probably going to be a little bit relieved here that, like you said, we don't got to worry about fuel anymore. It's going to just be all up to him to go out there and wheel it. And so far this race, we saw he can go out there and wheel it. So he's going to look to get a good jump here as we come around here in 3 and 4 to get ready to go green again. But, don't look now. There's that 3 truck right back on his back bumper again. I know that's the place where Corey wants to be. He's got his truck all fixed up. So let's see if he can go back up there and make a challenge.
We'll see the pace truck come off, and Cole Martin gets a great restart on his teammate Andrew Harris. He's going to pull away from him. He's going to be clear of him by 4 or 5 truck lengths as they head into 1. Right now they're single filed to about 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th spot. So up front, man, the yellow's not going to come from there. It's all a matter of these guys in the middle of the pack on back to the end of the line, keeping it clean. And we got a truck hard flipping down the backstretch.
I'm going to say we've got a truck flipping down the backstretch. No caution is out right now. He was off the racing circuit. Not really sure who that is back there. He's going to get it back going straight. We're going to stay green here.
So that's kind of the thing about iRacing. If you're off the racing surface and the yellow, it was a 33 Nathan Nixon who's still sitting down there. As you'll see, Cole Martin's going to go by him down into 3, so his engine is blown. Not going to be the day Nathan Nixon wants, but some guys that are having great runs up front will run you through the field now that we've gone green a couple laps after that restart. Cole Martin still in the lead, Andrew Harris in 2nd, Corey Saucier right on the tailgates of these 2 Bronco Motorsports trucks in 3rd. Vincent Cortez, who we saw involved in that early accident that brought out a yellow, is up back to 4th, and Mike Lepicki rounding out our top 5.
Yeah, Corey Saucier is going to be up here. He's going to make these 2 Bronco trucks get up there and run really hard for these final laps. So I think Corey's strategy, just looking at it right now, is definitely to get up here, get the lead, and drive away with this thing. You know, not looking like he's going to be too worried about saving his tires. As we see Mike Lepicki, you know, he's fallen backwards a little bit here at the beginning of this run, but definitely somebody to see maybe coming back up through the pack here later on in this run. But will he have enough time?
Yeah, the amount of time is very true there with that. We're coming to 14 to go. The top 6 have kind of broken away. They've kind of been the 6 quickest trucks on the track tonight with these 6 guys up in the top 6. But up front, man, it's still those 2 Bronco Motorsports trucks of Cole Martin and Andrew Harris leading this thing. And Vincent Cortez is going to go to the outside of Corey Saucier as we head into 1. So Vincent Cortez is trying to make the outside work around Corey Saucier.
Yeah, Vincent gets a little bit loose there, but able to keep the truck underneath of him here and maybe utilize this run getting down here into 3. You know, Vincent, he's going to be definitely looking for some redemption here. Hopefully not some retaliation as he's getting back up here. You know, he wants to get back up here and get this lead.
He definitely does. You can see him all over the rear bumper, the 3 truck, pushing them down the front stretch. We see them go to the high side now. Again, it's just the awesome aspect we have now in iRacing of the multi-groove racing that they've implemented this week with an update. So you'll be seeing that every single week here at Speed Racing Network. Tonight, obviously, you've seen in the Truck Series. Tomorrow night, Thursday for our Xfinity Series, and Sunday night for the Cup Series out here. So it's going to be great racing on the select few tracks it's on. And it's been really great racing. And honestly, to my surprise, a lot of green flag runs, something I kind of wasn't expecting here at Atlanta.
Yeah, these things can really get to be a handful later in the runs as the tires wear out, but definitely a good job by all these guys to really give us some green flag racing, some hard racing, some really entertaining racing. As we see Mike Lepicki starting to make his way back up here. He's got 12 laps to go, and he's got four different trucks to pass. Can he get it done?
And for Mike, man, you got to be you're looking at the amount of laps left. You got 11 to go right now, and you got to get around 4 trucks, and it's all about momentum in these things. So you got to make quick work of it. You can't be wasting too much time trying to get around these guys, because if you get stalled out, you got to get the thing wound up again to make a run on the guy in front of you. Like you see Corey Saucier dive to the inside of the 87 truck. Don't know if he's going to make it work, but I think that's going to open the door for Vincent to get to his outside unless Corey shuts it. And
Corey's going to slide up and shut that door on Vincent. I just don't know if the bottom line's going to be where you're going to get this done without pulling a big slide job on somebody. Going to be a real dangerous move to pull on these old tires, as we see Andrew Harris get a little bit wide there coming out of 2. That's going to give Corey a run getting down here into 3.
Definitely does, and I just, like you said, man, it seems to really not work, or later the run goes on. That bottom is kind of treacherous. I'm kind of shocked, Daniel, to not see anyone even get higher than these guys. Kind of running the wall like we'd see at Homestead. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick do it really well, and in the actual NASCAR racing. I mean, these guys are kind of middle of the track, and no one's kind of creeping up even higher. I mean, at this point, man, if you're Mike Lepicki, Vincent Cortez, Matt Johnson sitting 4th, 5th, and 6th, why not try it? I mean, you got plenty of room behind you to the guys. They're probably about almost a second behind you. Because, I mean, if you're just running on a choo-choo line like a train, I mean, you're going to finish where you're at, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's really surprising not to see, anybody from Vincent on back really trying that outside line. Haven't had the chance to really drive the trucks here at Atlanta, so I'm not really sure how that works. Is we're going to have a caution on the track here. That's going to change things.
Out of turn 2, I believe it was, there's a huge cloud of smoke as our leaders were about halfway down the back. Not too sure, though. We'll try to find it for you.
Maybe involving Kevin Winker, possibly.
Yes, you might be right with the 42. Not too sure, though.
Doesn't look like he's got a bunch of he's got some damage there, so maybe got a piece of this wreck. Whatever happened back there.
We'll see. Here we go through another Sandwich Man Sports Memorabilia wreck replay. Okay, it definitely was the 42 truck, so we're going to be on board with the 42 of Kevin Winker. as they head into turn 1, see Devin Zimmerman on the bottom of them kind of wash up the track a little bit. Just, with those older tires, harder to, stick the bottom. And, with 9 laps to go, I believe it was, when the yellow came out. Yeah, you're just trying to get every single inch, Bowler.
Looks like Devin, just got in there a little deeper than maybe he wanted to. Truck got a little bit tight there, washed up the track, and unfortunately for Kevin, just wrong place, wrong time there, and really minimizes the damage he could have got out of the deal. So, you hate to see that happen, but definitely could have been worse for him.
Yeah, definitely, and you hope those two drivers both have fast repairs left in the tank. That way they're able to... and look at that, Daniel Bowler, my pick. Cody Madden throwing the strategy, staying out, going to take the lead here. We're going to have a late race caution restart, so things are getting, as Dean Brumman would say, spicy.
Yeah, it's going to be real spicy here. Not sure how many people stayed out with him here, but definitely could be an interesting end to this race. If we want to, do we want to pull him up and see how he's feeling?
Yeah, well, let's pull him up. Cody Madden is Jake Rowell and Daniel Bowler up in the booth, buddy. We see you pull the strategy card, man. You're staying out here with coming to 5 to go. How you feeling about your chances right now?
Me and Jeff were talking. We're going to try to roll the dice, see what we can do. We're going to try. Hopefully we don't get enough green-white checkers tonight, so we'll see if this strategy pays off or not. But
I could tell you right now, Cody, pre-race, you were my pick to win it. So when I saw you stay out and try to pull this off, man, it makes me feel good that you're up front now. I know you've kind of had a little bit of bad luck this evening and involved in some wrecks. So, just kind of give the fans at home a little, inside scoop of what it's been like driving here at Atlanta.
it's tough, man. It's like you barely try to drive it into the corner, and then it sucks you right up the racetrack. You got to try to feel your back bumper, what it's doing, and it's all around. It's a tough track, man. I feel bad that I got up into Nate on that last lap because I wasn't trying to. I didn't feel him. I didn't feel the car go out underneath me. It just touched him a little bit and just sent him around. But overall, I mean, let's see what we can do here. We got 2 to go, so.
Definitely. Well, we'll get you down to where you were at, Cody, and best of luck here on this restart. You got me pulling for you, so go out there and get that win and kind of catch your brother in that win column.
I appreciate it, Jake. Thanks, kid.
All right, Jake. Well, you heard it straight from him. He's deciding he's going to roll the dice here and go for it. I'm not really sure how it's going to work out for him here. He needed a few more, I think, to stay out with him to maybe have a really, really good shot at it. But who knows? We could see it work out for him here. Last week we saw we got down to these green-white checkered finishes and. Just couldn't put them together, and it ended up finishing under caution. So you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly, and you see Cole Martin now. He's going to be restarting 4th, and Michael Pickey, who I believe was about 5th or 6th coming into pits, is now. He came out 2nd in line of the guys at pit. So I kind of wonder if Mikey might have took 2 tires. Not too sure how that will pay off for that, and we got confirmation from Michael Pickey's crew down there. That 46 truck Ballard taking 2 tires, so. A little bit of strategy here. This restart might get a little crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bold move there. Didn't get what would have been the lead from Cole Martin. Coming off of the pit road there, but gonna put him up in here in position. To challenge for it. But also keep in mind we got a points battle going on right now between Corey Saucier and Michael Madden, and they are going to start nose to tail here.
And they are. So we're going to have Corey Saucier in 7th and Michael Madden 9th. But back up front, Michael's brother, Cody Madden, a little bit of wheel spin from these guys on the front row.
And everybody's going to spin the tires. Andrew Harris gets into the back of him there.
But no yellow. No yellow. He spins it into the grass. So Cody Madden's going to have to keep Cole Martin behind him, but I just don't think that's possible.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. You're going to see Cole get him right here off of 2, and that is going to really break the rest of the field up here. As nobody's going to be within smelling distance of Cole Martin here.
No, Cole Martin right now, the only thing he's racing is racing to that white flag before yellow comes out. because that'll allow the guys. Oh, we got a big wreck out of 4.
Oh, we got Mike Lepicki flipping here. We got a
my
massive
gosh.
wreck here. Vincent Cortez.
Huge wreck. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's another dozen trucks right there, Bowler, involved.
Yeah, we are going to have to really sort the field out here as we're going to go to a Sandwich Man Sports Memorabilia Rec replay.
See what happened here. It happened in the middle of 3 and 4. It wasn't one of the two guys or any of the guys that stayed out.
Looks
Michael
Lepicki getting loose off of
my
off of
Lord.
4 there. You know, you wonder those 2 tires, man, that typically makes a car or truck extremely loose here for the first couple laps. Makes you wonder, was it just more than what he expected?
Oh, definitely. Kind of got down it a little low there. Got a little loose in the corner. Got into Matt Johnson. Got loose again. And, I mean, went for a ride, getting airborne. Trucks going underneath him, every which way around him. That strategy obviously seemed well, but, you know, isn't going to pay off for Mike Lepicki at the end of this thing.
Yes, here we go. We're going to ride on board with Mike Lepicki. You know, if you get sick easy, look away now.
Definitely kind of crowded him on entry, pinching him. You know, that's fair game coming to 2 to go there. And he got a little loose, hit the outside or the right side door of Matt Johnson, and around the whole field went behind our top 4 or 5 guys. And, man, I mean, it was just a parking lot like you see on I-75 through downtown Atlanta on the front stretch here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You see these guys, you know, behind the wreck trying to get through it, and just the carnage it creates when you got, you know, a wreck happen in front of you. You know you got to get on the brakes, but you see the 86 got tagged from behind. Kind of helped him get through, and then bam, right in the left side door of Mike Lepicki. 86 gets a guy spinning into him. You know, it's just that's part of it, man. You got to be able to check up and get yourself out of the way from guys that might not see it as quick as you do. So, but here we are, man. We're gonna have our first attempt at a green-white checkered, Daniel.
Yeah, we're going to have these green-white checkered starting now. Going to be interesting to see. Definitely not what Cole Martin wanted to see there, but, you know, as bad as maybe that was for him, he's going to have these 2 trucks on old tires here in between him and the next guy on new tires, which I believe is going to be Michael Madden. So definitely going to have the ability to jump out to a quick lead here. So not the worst thing for him, but definitely not what he wanted to see.
Definitely, and honestly, Daniel, I think what we might see here on this restart could be 4 wide going into 1. You got the 15 of Michael Madden, who's going to be starting in the second row on the outside. He's going to be looking to go to the outside of his brother Cody Madden if he wants any shot at this win to keep up with Cole. But then you're also going to have Corey Sauce here in that 3 truck from R&D Motorsports starting on the inside in the third row, stuck behind the 115 of Jeffrey Stewart, who stayed out that last yellow on on the same old tires as Cody Madden. So realistically, man, we could see 4 wide behind Cole Martin going into turn 1.
Definitely a possibility. Almost a guarantee, if you ask me. But it's just going to depend on how these guys shake this restart out. Because I know, you know, you saw as the if we looked back at that first restart there, or the last restart, you know, those 2 guys on old tires definitely spun the tires in front of the field. So it's going to be interesting to see if those 2 learn from that and get a little bit better of a start here.
Definitely, and you know, we got the 1 to green, so this time the pace car is going to be coming off. Like we said, this is going to be our first attempt of 3 green-white checkers. If you're a race fan, you can tune out for a moment. You know what these are, but for our new fans that might be tuning in for the first time or first few times, a green-white checkered, you're going to see the green flag first out of turn 4. They're going to try to race back to the white flag. Now, if they get a yellow flag before they get the white flag, we're going to go to our second attempt. And if the same thing happens, we're going to go to a third attempt. After that third attempt, the next flag ends the race. So if they get the yellow before the white, that's the race. If they take the white, man, it's race back to that line and get what you can. So again, Cole Martin, I think, is really just going to have to worry about getting to that white flag, Daniel Bowler.
Yeah, I think that's going to be his best bet, is get around this track as fast as he can, get to that white flag. That way he knows the next flag's going to end that race, you know, no more heartbreak. But, we've seen him. He had to do it last week this way with all these green-white checkers, so not a stranger to it. As we go back green here, he's going to get a good jump, but you saw Michael Madden's going to jump to the outside of his brother here, going down into one.
And he doesn't get to the outside, though, so that's really going to get into Cole's favor, man. Those two trucks on old tires are going to slow those guys up. As you see with Corey Saucier, he's just got nowhere to go. He's just seeing the rear tailgate of that 115 trying to get around him. And you see the 15 and the 87 of Andrew Harris now able to get to the outside, as well as Corey Saucier following in line behind him. But right now, man, Cole Martin's out to over a second, or almost a second lead on these guys, and he's going to get the white flag.
Oh, Michael Madden's going to get a little bit loose, but Cole Martin, he's out here. He's going to take that white flag. They're going to look at maybe going 3 wide here into 1 for second.
Yeah, we definitely are. We had a truck going through the grass when the white flag came out. Sounds like
we have a big wreck in 1. We have a big wreck in 1. No caution is out. We're gonna let these guys come back to the line.
Yeah, it's going to be Cole Martin up front, but really it's going to be that battle for second, man.
Yeah, that battle for second is going to be big. Harris. We're going to be 3 wide coming to the line here. 2 wide.
But Cole Martin, man, congrats to him. I know we were showing the battle for second. It's going to be Cole Martin, Michael Madden in second. So he was able to squeak out second place from Andrew Harris. Hey, the race flew by, if you ask me, Daniel Bowler.
Yeah, that race went really quick. We had, what did we have there? Did we have even 4 cautions? Man, it seemed like we just flew right through that race. We had that one early, and then we just went to some green flag racing there, and some good green flag racing at that.
Yeah, we definitely will. We're gonna zero in here on Cole Martin, our winner. He's gonna burn it down in that Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia and Shoney's truck. Again, painted by the Logan McReynolds for Bronco Motorsports, who does their paints. Looking good as he's burning it down here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So this is Cole's second win in a row, man.
Yeah, back-to-back for Cole. It's got to feel good. Won this race in dominating fashion. I think pretty much would have led every single green flag, or every single lap of the race, if it wouldn't have been for those late race cautions where some guys stayed out. Otherwise, I believe he would have led every single lap of this race.
Yeah, I think he would have been a couple laps short because there were guys that had stayed out under that green flag pit stop a little longer than him, so he had to give up the lead to come into pits. But again, man, Cole Martin dominating this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So Bronco Motorsports having their 2 guys finish first and third, but we'll run through the whole field here. Cole Martin bringing home the win in that 85 truck for Bronco Motorsports. Michael Madden having a great night, even though he was mirrored back kind of about 10th, 12th all night. Third place is going to be Andrew Harris out of Bronco Motorsports. Corey Saucier in that 3 truck for R&D Motorsports coming home 4th. And Kyle Wimble, man, 5th place in the 91 truck.
Yeah, Byron McDonald, nice quiet race for him. Ends up 6th, good solid finish. Jeffrey Stewart, one of those guys that stayed out there with the old tires, he's going to finish 7th, so good end of the race for him. Taylor Smith, where did he come from? Comes up here to 8th. Bobby Anderson's going to be 9th. Cody Madden, your pick, is going to wind up 10th out of that, staying out there on old tires, so good finish for him. Sean Kozer's going to be 11th. Brandon Domain, 12th. Corey Knight gets up to 13th.
14th place, we got Devin Zimmerman, one of our independent drivers. 15th, Walt Lepicki, a good runner for Tank Racing. 16th, Jose Castellanos for Striker Motorsports. 17th, we got James Kerr for Jonathan Byer Racing. And then 18th, we got another independent of Evan Scott. 19th, Matt Johnson, another Jonathan Byer Racing, and his teammate Jonathan Byer obviously out of Jonathan Byer Racing. So Jonathan Byer Racing, again, man, has 4 trucks in the top 20. And Revved Racing, for reference, only had 2 guys in the top 20. So again, back to that team championship, they might be quite a few points back, but like you see here, man, they're starting to run them down if they keep having runs like this as a team.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just keep getting them solid finishes, and Revved keeps having some trouble like this. It's not crazy to think they couldn't get up there and challenge for this. We're going to three races here coming up that are going to be some big wild cards, so you just never know.
Absolutely, and we're going to bring our 3rd place finisher up to the booth here, Andrew Harris. Andrew Harris, man, it's Jake Rowell and Daniel Ballard in the SRM booth, buddy. How you feeling after coming home P3 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
We are pumped over here at Bronco.
Yeah, big race for you guys. You and your teammate Cole sat out front. 90% of this race, I would say, and led these laps, and got to feel good having that dominating performance. Cole going back to back, and you having another solid run with a win earlier this year. What's that do for the momentum going forward? Does that get everybody pumped up, ready to go out there and just keep winning all these races?
Absolutely. I think we're really pumped up for Cole. I mean, he's killing it night in and night out. We did practice quite a bit before this race, so we're just excited. And I needed this to get to make sure I hold my spot in the playoffs.
Definitely, Andrew. A heck of a run for yourself as well as your teammate Cole Martin. You guys were honestly in control of this entire race. So before we let you go, buddy, you got anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, all of Bronco, Chris, Cole again for helping drag me along there. Greg, Joyner, Nick going the whole time was helping us out. Tristan, I think my grandma watches this, so thank her too. So yeah, and you guys for putting this on.
Definitely, man. Well, we'll get you back down to your Bronco Motorsports team. I know you guys are going to be pumped and celebrating this thing, so enjoy it, and congrats on a P3 tonight at Atlanta.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, Daniel. So we heard from P3, so we'll bring up Michael Madden into the booth, who came home second place for Revved Racing, man. Michael Madden, it's Jake Rowell and Daniel Ballard in the SRM booth. You come home second. I know you want to win every single one of these things, but how does it feel to, kind of not necessarily struggling, but struggling in sense we were usually accustomed to seeing you run up front, man. So how are you feeling after coming home P2 in this thing?
Oh, just really frustrated this week, man. It was just, I messed up the qualifying lap, and that's what put me deep in the field. I got loose coming off of 4, and I was just trying to dig myself out of a hole all night. I had a great run coming through the field in the start of the race. I felt like my race pace was right on point, and then I got taken out by, I think, Joe in that wreck, and I was just trying to recover all night. You had to be really careful going through the field tonight. You just didn't know what was going to happen with guys in front of you, and you didn't really know who had control of their car and whatnot. So stay with it. I'll take the second place, but I'm just a little frustrated leaving today.
Yeah, you understand the frustration, but, going back to, you said you qualified, poorly tonight and had to come up through the field. And we actually talked about you there in the middle of the race, that you were kind of sitting, 11th, 12th, 13th place. And that was a little bit unusual for you. And you wind up here in second place. As frustrating as this race may have been, are these the races you can look back on and, really say that these are the races, that really solidified your spot here in the playoffs, and possibly even, a championship round?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody wants to win every week. I'm pretty sure that's why we all join this league, to win every week. It's just sometimes it's not feasible with racing. So, like I said, when we're going for championships, you just got to stack the pennies. Like I've been saying every week in these interviews, for second place, and you just got to keep going. So when you look back on the overview of the season, I'll take a few second places, especially when I struggled at tracks. I felt like Atlanta was good, but like a couple like Phoenix and stuff like that, I struggled in just getting the pace down. So when I look back on those tracks, I feel like I accomplished, what I set out to do.
Well, definitely. Sorry there, Jake. Didn't mean to cut you off, but good race for you, Michael. Just keep putting these together, and man, you're going to be, I believe you'd be taken back over the points lead here tonight, if I'm correct. So, trending in the right direction.
Absolutely. Breathing a sigh of relief with that. I love my points lead. A few people I want to thank tonight. I want to thank my mom and my girlfriend for tuning in, because my mom always gets on me for not shouting her out. So I appreciate her in the comment section. When I rewatch the races, I see her coming up. And then Sean, everybody at Sparkle and Shine, all the guys at Revved Racing, keeping me cool tonight, even though it was frustrating. I need those guys to keep me in check, and I appreciate everything they do throughout the week. We're just going to keep at it, and hopefully, our team points keeps growing. So we'll move on to Bristol.
Absolutely, Michael. That's the mentality to have, man. Got to keep the ladies in your life happy, as well as, just realizing, it can be frustrating at times, but when you put it together on late race restarts like you did there to come home P2, man, it pays dividends and kind of just starts striking some fear into guys. That it's going to take a lot to knock you off as one of the top guys and really a run for that championship. So we'll get you back down to Revved Racing, Michael, and congrats on P2, man, and enjoy it. We'll see you next week at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Daniel. Well, you know what that means now. We've interviewed third and second, so we're going to get our winner up here into the booth. Cole Martin, man. It's Jake Rowell and Daniel Badler up here in the SRM booth, man. Congrats on going back-to-back. You win last week at Phoenix, and now you're here back in victory lane at Atlanta. I know you got to be pretty pumped up right now.
Yeah, definitely. That's a wild end of the race right there.
Cole, I got to ask, we had that late race caution there. You go into the pits, you get your tires, you come back out, and you see two cars sitting in front of you, that stayed out. What's going through the mindset there? And also, what's going through your mind there as you make that really good restart, get out to a nice big lead, and then we have another caution that brings the field back to you again.
I was just hoping they don't spin and wreck on the restarts because that's known to happen sometimes here in Atlanta. I know the dude on the inside of me spun and I think hit some couple other people behind me, but I was lucky to get around them. And yeah, fresh tires was definitely the way to go. I mean, if it was like 6-7 laps into a run, you definitely still want to take fresh tires.
Yeah, you're definitely right there, Cole. Honestly, you made the right strategy here tonight, taking 4 tires. We saw Mike Lipicki, who took 2, get involved into an accident on the second to last yellow there. So that pit strategy paid off for you, man. You come home first, you win back-to-back, your teammates in third place. Does this kind of just start turning the table over to you two kind of just, the team championship might be out the window, but you guys starting to dial it in to make yourself a run here before the playoffs, as well as just continuing to be strong as we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Andrew he's been pretty fast, but he's had a tough couple of weeks, and York's been pretty fast, our new driver. He got collected, I think, in the accident there at the end. He was in the top 10, I think, top 5. So, yeah, it's a lot of confidence. I think our team's finally turned around. We had a really bad start to the season, but I think we got it going now.
Definitely, Cole. It's been in kind of 2, 3, 4 races in a row for a couple guys. Early on it was Michael Madden winning a lot of these races. Then it was Corey Saucier. Now we're seeing you winning back to back. Do you have anything? How do you feel about next week at Bristol Motor Speedway? As well as give you this time to thank any sponsors or anyone like that.
Well, Bristol's not a good track for me. I'm not a short track dude. Like I said at Phoenix, I mean, I don't know if I can win again next week, but hopefully I can keep on the streak. And yeah, the sponsors I like to thank is Stronies and Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Go check them out. Got some great die casts there and buy for a really good price.
Alrighty, Cole. Well, congrats on this win again, back to back. That's huge. Doesn't happen a lot here in Speed Racing Network with all the talent we have. So that just kind of shows dividends, about you as a driver and what you can bring, on different kinds of tracks. Winning last week at Phoenix, even though you say you hate it, you win here tonight, and now we go to another track you say you hate. So I guess that trends to you winning next week. But we'll get you back down to your team at Bronco Motorsports, man. Take this one in, enjoy it. I know you guys are going to celebrate, so congrats again, Cole, and enjoy it. All right, Badler. So there we go, man. That was the rundown at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we move on to our next race next week here for the Speed Racing Network Truck Series. It's going to be next Wednesday, March 24th at 9:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Rocky Top 125 at Bristol Motor Speedway. What are you looking forward to seeing in this race?
It's Bristol, baby. I mean, it's going to be action-packed. Everybody bumper to bumper, nice tight racing. It's going to be a little bit of struggle maybe sometimes to keep it green. But definitely look for these guys. We trended back in the right direction tonight, so look for these guys to want to get some green flag runs in.
I think you're right, man. They call it the last Coliseum for a reason. It's going to be battling all night. It'll be interesting to see how these trucks race there. Personally, I think those kind of race the best there. It's just going to be a matter of guys, being able to give and take a ton, because that thing can turn into a caution fest quickly. But next up, tomorrow night, Thursday, March 18th, 9 p.m. Central, 10 Eastern. We're back here, and you're going to be on track, Dana, running the hot Atlanta 150 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What are you looking forward to tomorrow night?
Oh man, Jake, I am looking forward to the checkered flag of this race, man. I am not looking forward to Atlanta. I have not had a good week practicing, but hopefully tomorrow night we can turn that stuff around and just have a nice solid race is my goal. The Xfinity cars, they race kind of a little different, man. They're their own breed here, it seems like. So, but no, it should be a great race. I think, if tonight was any indication, we should have some green flag runs, some great tight racing. It really looked like that multi-groove racing was going to help out. So definitely look for tomorrow night to be a good showing.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I think tomorrow night's going to be a great race for our Xfinity series. And so what I took away from your words was tomorrow night, you're probably not going to have a chance to tie me in the all-times win list with 6 for Speed Racing Network history. I know you're sitting at 5. The guys in the production booth and broadcast booth last week might have had the RSR calculators from Daytona Road Truck Series race. I've actually got 6. You've got 5. So hopefully you do pull it off because, I'd love to be tied again with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, if I can tie you in all-time wins by doing it at Atlanta, you just as well give me 2 wins because it's going to be a win just getting myself around this place. So look for me to take the lead from you tomorrow night if I get that, count it as 2. And also, no matter how it goes tomorrow night, I think look for me to continue to hold the most Xfinity wins all time in SRN series history. So definitely got to hang my hat on that for now. You're out here taking my all-time wins away from me. I'll stick with the Xfinity wins.
There you go. Well, you heard it there best from our all-time Xfinity Series win racer. Man, it was a pleasure having you up in the booth tonight here at Atlanta. I know it was kind of last minute, but it was a heck of a time, and we just want to thank everyone viewing, all the guys and girls watching, and just remember at Speed Racing Network, go faster.